All right, it was a straight up kind of day like we've seen quite a few of over the last couple of weeks. It is Monday, May 24th. Let's go look at the S&P 500. So here we have the market open right here. What did we say? We said that we had quite a number of things here. So let's kind of walk through a few of those. What happened is we basically had this break. Let me get over here where I can see on my other screen as well. Okay, so basically what happened is I would have loved the open, like probably many. I would have loved a little bit of a pullback down to here, and it just didn't happen. And so this is just a 2-minute chart, and I did that so that it doesn't look like one way straight up on a 5-minute chart and we can't see anything. But there were a couple of things here from what I saw here. So basically, we had an opportunity once it really kind of started to get away from this area. You could have bought here off of this 7650. It probed that by about 7 ticks, but didn't take out this. So that's what I'd be looking at in the morning. Something like that I'd be looking at if this is, if this is going to hold or are they going to wick down lower. And so I'm willing to take some risk on that. And remember, we have, I think it was last week really when we talked about this bigger picture target up here. I'm just going to go look at this here. So back on, yeah, so back on the 17th, we started talking about this 4222. And I know we haven't gotten there yet, but just to give you an idea, these targets that are out there, and we've not said that's going to happen today by any means, but just giving you an idea of this has been the scenario for a while. Nothing's really changed. If you miss this from this morning, the overnight session came down, hit the KP to the tick, and then that was it. That was the low. And then let's go look through here. So basically, yeah, this anywhere in here, these are opportunities of where you can start looking to get in a buy opportunity here. And then really tough I mean, from there it just kind of took off, stalled out here around the CP just a little bit, but I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from that. We were really looking for. We had this 86 area, by the way. I mean, that's about, it's like as good as it gets, really, in these kinds of markets. It's like 86 quarter, which is right here. And basically, they probe down here 85 quarter. That's basically, it breaks 86 quarter, and you basically have to get in at that price. It's just the way it's been here lately. And then from there, we had this 93.75, this 93 quarter, 93.75. So then this comes in here, and then what? Up to here. Where is it going? Remember, we had the other target we had up here was 01 quarter. And you'll see as things progressed along here, there you go. So I'll just throw a line on there at 01 quarter. So there's that. It stalls out there for a little bit. And then what happens? This ends up being the high of the day right here at 06 quarter, which is really nothing. There's no, there's nothing really there. So then what ends up happening, they end up pulling back. Notice they hold this 01 quarter for this last push into the Globex. And then where are we right now? We're right back here, right hovering around that 4200 area. And so it is really, really just the same kind of, okay, there was a little bit of pullback here. I mean, that was your biggest pullback that you got was from 06 down to 92, which is actually really nice. And then there was a pretty decent reaction out of there. But this is not really supposed to be high enough. So we were talking more about, this 09 half area. So this is not necessarily a problem. If anything, to me, I like this because it tells me we're not done with higher yet. So I don't need this to stop at one of my, if this stopped and the high here was 0.1 to the tick, I'm a little bit nervous about what's coming next. The fact that it came up here to 0.6 to me tells me we're not done with higher yet. So let's go look at tomorrow's prices. So shocker, this doesn't change much. So 21.75. If you watched this morning's video, that should sound pretty familiar to you. And then what do you see? 48.50. So, I mean, this is really up here is really sort of like the minimum that we can talk about for this leg, and there's more room for sure. But that's really sort of the minimum we can even talk about for that leg. So if they don't hold 95.75 here in the overnight, then no problem with coming back in lower here into the 80s. I mean, even back, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of room down into this area. So this, I'd be watching, this is just a 2-minute chart, but 87, 84.50, somewhere right in there. That 74.50 seems like it's really been used a lot, so I don't necessarily like this, but this could be this area, this 71.50, which, couldn't get down into that to test it. But you can see right here, the 61.50, unless they can break this area, and we have key turns here at 58.25, so unless they can break this, likely they're just going to resume and continue back up higher. And even if they break that, this 53.50, 52.50 is still, this is still going to be something to get through even if they break that. So, but really so could you scalp from here down to here? Yeah, there's like 10 points, so you could try and scalp that, but more than likely at some point here, unless they break this, they're gonna, and you could scalp from here to here or from here to here. Yeah, you could do all that. But if you're looking at what's the longer term play here, where's the market going? We should be going here. And that's what we're looking for. And unless it really starts to break down, and if it starts to break down, then there's plenty of room to go lower, but I'm not even going to talk about that right now. So we'll cover that if that even looks like a scenario worth covering in the morning. So hopefully that's helpful, and we'll come back here in the morning and we'll see what things look like and where we want to go from there. And we'll make a plan and we'll do our best to trade that plan. By the way, I'll show you something here that this is just really simple. There'll be an actual video about this, but just to give you an idea. So, by the way, so Globex buy opportunity. This never got filled. This is the box. If you're not familiar with it, it's a 1,000 tick chart on the box. So buy opportunity, that you never got a chance to get in that one. This one you had plenty of opportunity to get in. It's also supported by the KP there, so really nice. This was a really nice risk, or nice, this is a big trade if you're just scalping on a chart like this. So you have about 7 points, 7.5 points, so that's really nice. And then this one, about, yeah, similar type of target there, and then that hits. So both of these work overnight, and then this one works, but your entry's way up here, and it's just really tough to make it work. But you did get another one over here, so this is not a trade you'd really likely take with that. And then there was a re-entry into here after it already hit the target once. There was a re-entry, and then this gave you a buy opportunity right here. I talked a little bit about this, but I would just extend this box up to the top of the CP, and then we closed up above it. So but no entry, so it never came back and entered into that. But then this one did right here, so this gave you buy opportunity. This is really just a break-even trade. You wouldn't take this one short, that was invalid. And then there's that one, and that one obviously took off and ran for a bit. So we're looking about 3.5 points. It would be a 1-to-1, and then there was more, and then a nice sell opportunity. And then this is, you can't use that. it's not useful. And then real quick, one other thing to just look at here. This is a 2000 tick chart, and this was from this morning. So here's your entry this morning, and this is 73.75, and it just never looked back, straight up. And then one short signal. So this trade goes from, let's just call it 74 all the way up to the high of the day, so like 30 points, 32 points I think. And then this one, you get your signal here at 03, and it dropped down to there, so about 10 points, 10 and 3/4 points or something. So that was it for this one. So this one ran, this is the 2000 tick chart. This one from here ran 32 points. This one gave you almost 11, 10 and a half or so. And then that was it on those two. Same tool, just different intervals. So this is a, this is basically you're using a 1000 tick chart. So this one worked out real nice, and right at the open gave you that retest right there. And from that retest at 74, it went 32 points. So maybe you didn't hold for all of that, but this is a great tool, and we're running a promo on this week, so you'll see more of this. But I mean, I just think for days like today, I love this thing. If it's in a tight trading range, it's a little bit more tricky, but when it's just sort of one way, this thing is something that I've found quite useful. So well, there you have it, and I'll be back here in the morning. Thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. You'll get notified when we go live, both in the evenings and in the morning. And I will see you back here in the morning. Thanks for tuning in today.